Okay, well, I couldn't pass that up. I had to reboot and grab us another plane. So here's one you haven't seen before. This is the Cessna Caravan 208 and turboprop. This is going to be fun. Let's see what we can do with this one. Okay, it's been a while since I've flown this plane. Make sure I have fuel on, props, throttle, they all work. Okay, I gotta refresh my memory on what to do here. Here's our fuel. Turn both our fuel tanks on. And this is a turboprop, so we kind of have the same motor in the TBM. Okay. It's going through its testing. We'll let it do its thing. I just gotta remember how to start. Ignition on. Starter on. Pretty much the same procedure as our other plane. This one's a pretty slow. We can only go 25,000 feet in this plane and about 195 knots. But this thing can take a boatload of weight, a lot of passengers. So this is a great plane to fly into short fields. Alright, just got to find my sweet spot for my reverse thrust. There it is, right there. Okay. Everything is good. Doesn't look like it is. Very good. All right, let's see what we can do in this one. I'm having a lot of fun doing this, so I think this is going to be a normal thing. I think I'm going to make a whole series of flying into the world's most dangerous airports. This one isn't on the list for some reason, but it is so much fun to fly into. And you'll see this airplane flown a lot commercially into this airport. This is how a lot of the people fly commercially to this airport, is on one of these Cessna Caravan 208s. Okay, we're kind of going to just do our same process. One notch of flaps. Never flown this plane in here or taken off from here. Today's the first time I've ever been here, really. And now this is my third different airplane. Alright, let's just get this bad boy fired up. And rotate. This is a fixed gear airplane, so we don't have to worry about bringing our gear up. I haven't flown this plane for a while, so I've got I have some cobwebs I need to, and what better way is to try to land it on a horrendous runway. I must really hate myself. But we can always just do a quick go around. I'm going to set this up pretty much the same as we did the Cessna. Our speeds are just going to be just a little quicker, but this will be way different with a turboprop motor because it has such a lag on it that it might be a challenge right at the very last minute when I need a little extra boost. There's such a lag on it that now that wasn't different. I have no idea why I did that. Yeah, it might be a little different with power settings with this plane. These clouds build up a little more too much. Our days of playing might be over because I can't see my island. They're still too far out. Okay. Okay, there is our little lineup. Okay. Let's see what we can do with this one. Just getting down to my flap speed. There's my first notch of flaps. There's a lot of lift on these wings, so let's do my second notch. Okay, we got our flaps maxed out. Get our altitude down a little bit, get our speed down a little bit. Let's see, rotation speed's at 70. So that might be our sweet spot. It's a little on the slow side, but so far rotation speed's been pretty good to us to actually accomplish this landing. This actually feels really comfortable. Like this is going to be a lot easier than the twin. I just gotta figure out the lag speed on the engine, because if I clip that ridge a little tight, because there's a few times that I really gunned it just for a second just to give me that extra little woof before I took the descent. Won't have that one in this plane because I'll be too far gone to give it that little whoop if I need it at the very last minute. Okay, gonna stop my descent here. We've been dropping a couple 100 feet a minute. So I'm gonna bring my nose up. Level flight. That'll bleed a little of my airspeed off. If I can keep it from porpoising here, up and down, up and down. Get comfortable. Our speed is exactly rotating speed at level flight right here. So, should be seeing the runway peekaboo over the trees at any minute now. There's the end of the runway. We usually line up pretty good right there. You see the end of the runway come through that little arch of the trees. I'm a little off to the right, so we'll move to the left. Rotate speed right where we need to be. I love this view. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Oh, that's a fantastic plane to fly in there with. Look at that. I can even reverse it. Oh. I'm going to say, okay, that is a plane to fly into these places. And this is actually the plane we're going to fly in Nepal next. That's that #1 most dangerous airport in the world. Never been there. It's like 1,700 feet long, 10,000 feet elevation, and I still haven't looked up the degrees. The one in France is like 18 degrees. So the runway is probably about half as steep as that hill right there. Oh, that's pretty good. Very comfortable. I was a little nervous about coming back too much on my engines and reversing the prop in midair because I don't have a stop. So I just got to kind of listen real carefully. Just bring it back enough. I think we'll do that one more time. You'll probably see this plane quite a bit. We're going to buy one of these at Neo Fly and do some bush piloting. This is a pretty rugged plane. Okay, one notch of flaps. We're going to pull my prop back just a little bit. We did red line at taking off here. Plenty of power in here at sea level. Look at that water. Oh, man. Let's go get the boat. Now, this has been a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Getting the pilot's perspective of some not so natural experiences. It's a bumpy ride in the afternoon here. We need to fly to the Bahamas and get one of these and do a bunch of bush flying. Might have to get that jet in Mexico over to the Bahamas somewhere. And get us buying some planes so we can do some bush piloting. I'm kind of haven't done this for a while, so I'm a little rusty, but it's a lot of fun. flying a plane in tough locations like that. Pretty much anybody can take a plane off and fly it from A to B straight and level, but it just grows a little challenge in there to get a plane through the mountains, short strips, over obstacles, and safely plant it on the ground. And so far, really haven't had too bad of a landings in either 3 aircraft, which is kind of surprising, because it's been probably, I haven't bush flown since last summer, so in the wintertime you don't have a lot of opportunity unless we fly down south or the Caribbean. Them little islands that poke out there in the ocean are nice little guidelines to bring you right in on your approach. It's almost like they planned it that way. Well, I'll save that in Nepal. That'll be our next one. And I did find the one in Honduras. That's the one. It's tough for airlines. There'll be a piece of cake for our planes, but yeah, Google the top 10 dangerous airports in the world. A lot of them are dangerous for airlines, not for small planes. Say this one don't even make the list, so that kind of shows you a little bit. But that one in Nepal, I don't know what it'd be like to land a plane up such a steep grade. And there's no way to do a go around. I'll do a little studying. I don't want to plant myself the very first time, but I'll definitely make sure to have a camera going the first time, because I'll have to do a lot of figuring out. And it'll be this plane. At that altitude, we'll need some pretty good horsepower, and it'll definitely be this plane. So at the next two airports. We'll do that one in Nepal, and there's one in France. And the one in France, the runway's pretty close to the same. I think it's 10 meters different in length. I think it's right around 1,700 feet long. High elevation. And the one in France is like at 18% grade, so you'd be landing. Your flare would be like 20-25%, and I don't think we've ever seen 25% just flying, so its flare at 18 and 20% is pretty extreme. So you'd have to hit your approach and damn near fly the plane 20 degrees without stalling and rolling up an 18% grade to the end of the runway to stop. So it's kind of hard to wrap your brain around what it takes to actually do that in a plane without the option of a go around. Because usually, like right here, it's not a big deal. No, I did it once before, didn't like it, just do a go around. But when there's a 30,000 foot mountain right in front of our face and we're 2/3 below it, there's not a lot of options we can do, and I'm way too high. Thinking about another airport when I should be paying attention to this one. It'll be alright. We'll force this baby in there. Buckle up, tighten up. There we go. But this did feel really good at that treetop busting through there. It was really stable. It felt really good, which helps a lot, because when it starts being really light and kind of feel out of control right when you're crossing that ridge, key is to ignore the trees about right now and just concentrate on that 10 on the runway.
500.
Nope, didn't like that at all. Seeing going in Nepal and that one in France, you don't get that option. You've pretty much got to nail it the first time. And that's going to be a key. How do you teach yourself how to do it the first time without being with a pilot that actually does it? Sometimes things are very difficult to figure out without actually doing a class on it. But since it's a game or a simulator, yeah, we're not putting anybody in harm. Okay, I'm going to try not going so far out this time. Try start configuring right here, and Let's do this. Them little islands right there in the ocean, it makes a pretty easy lineup. It was difficult the very first time I did it, trying to figure out where that runway is, but now it's pretty simple to find this airport now for me. Alright, let's get this slowed down. Leveled off. We're still pretty high, but I need to get that speed down. Probably the biggest key to landing here in real life is just don't force the landing. If it's not going good, it's pretty simple to do a go around. I've seen some videos where they pretty much force it, but if you're too far down, your option of go around's done with. It's, as you notice, the 2 times that I've called a go around, it was pretty early in the descent. I mean, we weren't even close to the runway. I think this last one was the closest one. You just have a feeling real soon that things just aren't looking right out the window, and that it's just, let's just do it again. And my first landing in this might have just been beginner's luck. I might not be able to land it here.
500.
500. Well, that's a lot later than, or earlier than the last one. Hell, we were almost to the ridge when it called 500 last time. So our speed's good. That's about the last time I'm going to look at my speed. Now I'm just watching them trees, looking for the number 10. Well, that was a bad.
Stall. Stall. Stall.
Whoops. All right, people, that was my first crash. That was the lag in the, yeah, bummer. Well, I didn't want to do that. There's your trying to go out on a stall, so that will definitely ruin your day. Well, I'm going to have to practice that plane a little more, apparently. That's definitely a go-around stall, which happens quite often. But, well, I'll have to shut everything down and fire it back up. We will be back. It's not good to die in a plane, but that's how quick it can happen. So, well, thanks for riding along. Have a great day. Bye.